about the data and the type of the formats of our data and how the data is getting stored in a database. Let's start understanding the database a bit more. As we discussed earlier, the database will be in a tabular format, right? Whatever the information we are storing in a database can be in the form of tables. All the information can be listed out in the form of tables in a database. So the databases can be different databases. We have different list of databases in the market. The database can be Oracle, SQL Server, or MySQL, or it can be a Snowflake, or whatever the database. We need to understand a SQL language which is used in a database. To interact with any of the database, we need to have a better understanding of SQL language. A SQL language is nothing but a structured query language. To interact with any of the database, we need to understand this language. So there are few inbuilt commands or keywords which are used in common in all of the databases. The first most useful command is a select one. This select is used to view the data from the tables. So this is the main purpose of the select one. And in order to view the data from any of the table, we need to use select. And there is one more command called as from, and this command is used to add from which table you need to fetch the details. We need to add the table details after from class, and these two together can be placed anytime to view the details of the table. And the hierarchy can be followed will be: first we need to add the select, and then we need to add from, and in between there will be a logic which we need to add. So just an example, and this is a database, and we have the list of tables in the left navigation where we can see the album, artist, customer, employee, genre, invoice, and these are all the tables are available in a this database. Okay. And as I told you, in order to view the details in the table, we need to have select and from together, and after from we need to place the table name. Okay. And here the star indicates all the columns which are available in this table to be viewed in the output as a result. Okay. So I'm just running this. Here you can see we have employee ID, a last name, first name, title, and all these column information can be viewed when we run using star. All the column information will be viewed in the output. Let's say in order to view the column details, so these are all the columns which are available in this table, and if you want to view only one column which is available in this table, we need to add that column name after the select clause before from, and then this will be the table name. This is the command to fetch the details, and this is the column name, and this is the command which is added in order to add our table details after from clause. If I'm running these, I am getting the information only related to employee ID information. Since we are asking the database, I need to view the details of employee ID column from this table, then it will fetch out only that column details. And if you are placing as a star and if you are running the details of a table, then it will provide all the column details. So this is how the select clause will be. And let's say if you want to view the details of any other table apart from this employee table, let's say I need to view the details of a customer. Now you can see the variation, right? There will be in customer table, we have the customer ID, first name, last name, company, address, whatever may be. These many information is available in the customer details. And this is how whenever we need to view the information of a table, and if you want to view the complete information of a particular table, we need to use a star, and these star should be between select and from if you are running the query. And let's say if I want to view 2 to 3 column information, we can do that. Not only with a single column information, we can view the information of multiple columns based on the choice we are making in a select clause. Let's say I need to view the information of customer ID, first name, last name, company from customer table. Okay. And here I am trying to view the information of a customer table, and the customer ID column information, first name column information, last name, and company information. And I am not requesting to view all the information of all the columns which are available in this table. I'm requesting only the first 4 columns. So you can see now there will be the output which is viewing here. It will be a giving me customer ID, first name, last name, company, which I have chosen in the select clause. So this is how we can use the select one. And the columns should not be the same which is available in the tabular format. Maybe we can view the information of customer ID, company, and we can choose the columns randomly as well. Let's say I need to view the information of customer ID, address, phone. And here I am picking the columns randomly, not in a sequence way, which we are seeing here with select star. Here we viewed the information in the same sequence which we have available in the table, but now we are viewing the information in a randomly picked column format. Okay, I'm just running this query. You can see now we are able to see the information of a table with randomly picked columns, and we picked customer ID, address, phone, column information. That information we are seeing here in the output. So this is how we can use the select statement and from statement. And the select will be always the first statement of any of the information which we are trying to fetch out as a result in the database. And after select, the followed will be a from statement which we need to use in order to fetch the details of any of the table. So this is the information of a select and a from clause. These are all about select and from, and there will be an hierarchy we need to follow. in any of the database. And there will be most commonly used commands which will be used in a sequence. In order to run your SQL query, we need to follow this hierarchy or this kind of sequence in a database. First we need to be adding a select, and then we will be adding a from, and then followed by it will be where, and next fourth will be group by and having, and last will be order by. So this will be the hierarchy we need to follow whenever we are running any of the SQL statement in a database. And as we know, this select will be used to view the data available in a table based on the filter conditions or based on the columns or whatever may be. And from will be used to add your table details. From which table we need to fetch out, we need to add the details after from. And here where will be used to filter the conditions. To understand this filter, I'll be sharing one example over here. The example will be, let's say we need to fetch the data from employees table, and this employee table has an information of employee name, employee address, employee email, employee contact info, employee salary, employee department where he is working. These all are information we have in a particular table called employee, and we need to see the result only the employees whose salary is greater than 5,000. So whenever we need to get these kind of information, we need to add these kind of statements or filter conditions in a where clause. These will help you to filter out the information based on the condition which we are providing in next to the where clause. That is the use of where. Once we add these kind of condition, it will fetch out the employee details whose salary is greater than 5,000. And next will be a group by. Group by will be used to grouping the results or the data. To view the grouping results, it will be used. To add or understand these kind of grouping, will be discussing an example. Let's say in a college we have a different kind of departments, a CSE department, IT department, ECE department, and each department has a different kind of students and their information in the sense the student name, student fee details, blood group, contact information, which group he is studying. So this is the information we can see based on the age department, which will be available in a college table. Okay. Whenever we need to view the result only for a particular group, let's say we need to view only the CSC group students, then we need to add these kind of condition in group by. So which means it will give you grouping the information. These are all information will be grouped, and it will fetch out only for CSC level students, where we can fetch out only the CSC students. If we want to fetch out only IT, we can fetch out them. If we want to see only the EC department students, we can add the condition only for ECE. Based on that, it will give the results for a particular department. Having is used for Aggregate level of conditions. For aggregate level conditions, it will be used aggregate functions in the sense account, max, min, sum, average. These are all called as aggregate functions. And keep in mind that group by, whenever we are using a group by, we need to use having. Having is used only for aggregate conditions, and these aggregate conditions cannot be used in where clause. And order by, in order to sort the output, we will be using this order by. The output we can sort out either in descending or in ascending. If you are not providing any of ascending or descending at the end of the order by, it will by default it will be fetching out the ascending. If you want to sort out the result or the output, we need to sort the result based on giving this command at the end of the statement. Then we can filter out the result in a descending order only if we provide this command. So these will be the hierarchy we need to follow, and these are the examples, and we can see in a practical way. We have understood the select and from, and next move on to the where condition. Let's pick an employee table and just see the information in the employee table. And here we have the information based on title. Let's say we are picking this title column, and I need to see only the people or the employees which are in sales support agent. I need to add this filter condition, and I need to view only the result of those department details. I'm just adding a select the table name, and here I am adding a filter condition. Whenever it is an alphanumeric or alphabetical data, we need to be adding a single quote between the text or the alphanumerical data. So this is a mandatory thing. Whenever we are adding any filter condition based on your search, we need to enclose them within a single quote. Then only it will allow you to run the query. Okay. You can see earlier we have a 7 records of data where we can see in an employee table, but now I am seeing only these 3 data: sales support agent, because here I am adding a filter condition where I need to see only sales support agent department details. So this is how we can see. And if you are not enclosing them within a single quote, and if I'm trying to run it, it will throw you an error, because since it is a text or character data, we need to enclose them within a single quote. That is for mandatory. And these kind of information, now you can see this is how we need to do. And for date format also, we need to be adding the filter condition within a single quote. For example, I am adding this birth date in a filter condition. Now you can see I am getting only one record in the output, and I am fetching based on this birth date column, and I am fetching out all the details. Let's say if I want only the employee first name in the output, and birth date in the output. I don't want all the column level information which is available in this table. Then we can do that as well. We are adding only two columns. Now we are seeing all the information. Once we run this query, we can see only the two columnar information, where we are fetching out based on the birth date and based on the columns we are providing in the select clause. So this is how we can see for a where clause. And here we are using equals to. Maybe we can add greater than as well. Or we don't have any data, maybe we can add less than. See, now we can see we have a different employee information which are available, which are less than these birth date. So here we can use the operators equals to, greater than, less than, uh, greater than or equals to, not equals to. And if I want to no not to see these information, let's say I'm not okay to see the information of a particular employee, and I'm just adding this information, and this employee information should not be available once we are running this. Now you can see the information is not available, since we are asking a birth date which is not equals to this. Only then we need to print out the output. If the employee birth date is equal to this, then we are not printing out that. So that is what mean to not equals to. Now we have seen the information of adding equals to, greater than, and similarly, based on the greater than, the similar way we can use less than. And if it is not equals to, we have seen that information as well. And we can have and or as well. And or can be used in a different scenarios. Okay. And operator is used whenever we are passing two parameters, and that two parameters should be satisfied, then only we are printing the result. Let's say I'll be picking out one more example to show up the data, to add the n parameters. Uh, just pick these two columnar information, okay? And here I'm just remove this. I'm adding last name equals to this person, and first name equals to this. Okay. Here I'm trying to check out the employee information whose first name should be Peacock and whose first name should be Jane and whose last name should be Peacock. Then only it should give me the output, or else it should not print the output. We are asking or passing a two parameters which both should satisfy, then only it should print the output. See, it is printing out. If you want to view the complete information, we can add here star and we can run it. Yeah, now you can see the first name and last name which we have provided in the where condition based on, and it is printing out. For example, and that should not be the case of adding only two columns in a where condition for, or we can add n number of and conditions. There will be no restriction to add only one, two, or three. There will be adding any of the conditions in where clause. Let's say I'm picking a city where I need to add in a where condition, and here we are trying to filter out whose first name is Peacock and whose last name is Peacock, whose first name is Jane, and then whose city is Calgary. We are passing three parameters, and these three parameters should satisfy, then only it will be giving me the output. See, we are trying to satisfy three conditions, and three conditions satisfied, then only it will give me the output. For example, to see the where condition with or operator. Let me add this Mitchell in the last name, or we can add Nancy. First name equals to Nancy. Here we are filtering out the data whose last name can be Mitchell, whose first name can be Nancy. Either of the conditions can satisfy, then only it will print out the output. Either one, either it can be Mitchell, either it can be Nancy. If both satisfies, then also it can print out the output. Either one or either both. Either ways it will be working out. So I am running this output. Now we need to see the sixth row and the second row in the output. Now you can see our second and sixth row are seeing in the output. Here it is satisfying Mitchell and here it is satisfying Nancy. Both conditions are satisfied and then only it is giving me the output. So that is how the where condition will work. And just keep adding this note. For where we can add different operators, equals to operator can be added, greater than can be added, less than can be added, and can be added, or can be added, and as finally not equals to operator. These are the main things we are using in the where condition, and we have a lot more, and these can be used for a single data search. Let's say add to this condition, I am using only a single person detail whenever I am using equals to operator, and if I want to see both information or more than one member information in output which should satisfy with the last name, then we can use the in operator. In order to view the multiple people level information, we need to use in operator. Equals to will be used only for single data search, but in will be used with multiple data search. Let's say I need to view these people information which satisfy with the last name. We can see that, and this is how we need to enclose the data, right? This is how we need to enclose them and done. Within the brackets after last name we are adding in which should satisfy the employee last name should be Jansen, and it should be Mitchell, it should be King, it should be King. I am asking the statement to print all these member last name satisfied, then it should give me the output in the result. See, now we are seeing the four members information in the output. So this is how the in operator will be used in the SQL, and this can be for any of the column or any of the data we can add. For example, I need to add one more condition with and operator, and it should be category. Okay, now see what will happen. Now it is looking out for the employees. I have given four member information, and here I am passing one more parameter. If these people are with the city category, then only I need the output. If it is not satisfying with this output, and it should not print the output. Let's say if I'm adding or operator over here, it give me the 7 row information. It is looking out for category information. It looking out for the 4 member information. So you can see these 4 members I have provided as in the in operator condition, and here I'm looking out either these member information or the people which are available in the category. It is giving me the 4 member information, and if since I am adding as or, either of the condition should be satisfied, so then it is giving me the category information as well, apart from the last name which is satisfying over here. So this is how we can use the in operator. And let's say if I want to use not in, this is another operator which is used here. I think we discussed about not equals to, right? So this is also for a single search. I mean, we are giving only the one parameter as a search in the where condition. But when we use not in, we can use n number of conditions n not in. Okay. And here I am passing the 4 parameters. The last name should not be equals to these people, then only I need the output. If not, it should not print out them. So I am passing a parameter, the Janssen information, Mitchell information, King, Kalhan information should not be printed in the output. Since I am added these 4 conditions, these 4 parameters, I'm sorry, this 4 member information should not be available in the output. So it fetching out me the correct way. It is not giving me these people information in the output. Apart from these 4 information, we have these 4 information which is available in the employee table. Only that information is printing out in this result. And we have one more operator. For example, I need to filter the employees or the customer information between a particular ID, then we can use this. Okay. Actually, this is not the correct format to be used whenever we need to see the employee or the customer information between 6 and 10 ID. There comes the between operator. How we can use the between operator? Let's see. Whenever we need to see particular information from start point to the end point, where we can use using the between operator, and in between we need to add and, in order to differentiate the start and the end point. So after the between, this will be the start point where we need to start the result, and this will be the end point. Here I am trying to fetch the result of an customer details between the customer ID 6 and 10. Whenever we are using a between operator, it will be giving you the result with 6 and 10. It will be like this. Just I'm running it. Now you can see I am filtering out the customer information between 6 and 10. It will also give you the information of 6 ID and 10 ID, and in between them. It will give the start point, end point in the output, as well as the between numbers customer ID information which is available with start and the end condition. So this is how the between operator will be used. And when I, for example, whenever there is no information or the no data available in any of the raw data which we received from the file, there we are adding it as null. Null is nothing but the information not applicable or not available the data. And whenever we are trying to pull out the information with empty data in a particular column using the where condition, I'm filtering out the company and I'm trying to add as null. Okay. So you can see We have the information with null, right? We can see the information, but this is not the correct approach to followed in order to search the null values. Here comes the command to be used whenever we are trying to search the null. This is how we need to use in where condition whenever we are trying to filter out the null values. So now you can see I'm seeing only the null related information in the output. Whenever the company is having the no data information in the customer table, that information I'm able to see. For example, if you're trying to filter out the information which is not null of company column, then now we can see the information not equals to null is not null. So this will be the case usually we need to use. Yeah, this gives both the same result. Okay. And this is with where clause, and just brief about the concepts. Equals to we discussed, greater than, less than, and or not equals to. We can use a less than or equals to, or greater than or equals to. And we discussed about is not null, and between. What more we discussed? In, not in, yeah, in, not in. So this is what the where and how exactly we can use this where. Where is just to filter your complete data with based on the prerequisite or based on the result you need to see in the output. So that is how we can use the where condition. Based on your filter condition, instead of seeing all the complete result in the output, we are filtering out based on certain condition. So that condition can be added in a where clause. I think this is clear with select, from, where. And these will be the hierarchy we need to follow. If you are not following, see what will happen. I'm trying to use this next to this. Incorrect syntax. So this is what I mentioned. Because of this, there will be an hierarchy or sequence we need to follow in a database in order to run your query language. The same thing we need to be followed here. Then only it will allow you to see the result. So select from where. First will be select, then will be from, and then will be where. And the next one will be the group by, where it will be used for the aggregate functions, and let's see how it functions. Whenever we are using a group by clause in any of for any of the table, we need to give the number of the columns which we are providing in select clause. The same number of columns should be available in the group by. Then only it will allow you to run the query. And whenever we are using group by, there will be some functions or some conditions we need to follow. That will be the same number of columns should be added in the group by, and select. Then only it will be going to work, and if not, it is not going to work. And the next condition is we need to use aggregate functions in select clause. This will be max, min, count, sum, average. And whenever we are using group by, if you need to filter out any of the conditions, like we performed the operators in where, we need to use having. Having can be used only with aggregate functions, and these where cannot be used for aggregate functions. So these are the prerequisites we need to follow, and whenever we are performing this group by condition. Let's start understanding this. I am trying to group by the customer ID, and I am trying to filter out how many customers have, let's say, pick up one, and for how many customers this id one was being allocated. I was trying to filter out the data. You can see the customer id 1 we have only for one member, and 2 for only one member, and 3 for only one member. So this is how it shows up the count when we are using. And let's say I need to filter out the data based on a different column. Based on country, we can pick the, we can see the Brazil is for with a different people, and USA with a different people. And let's figure out how the data will be now. Now you can see the Argentina has only one member, Brazil has five members, Canada has eight members, USA has 13 members, and this is how it will group based on your column provided in the select clause. And let's say if I'm providing with a different column, and we have completed that group by using a count, right? Now we can start understanding with sum, average, min, and max. Okay, let's start. And the sum and average can be worked only with numerical type of data, and it will not be going to work with character or alphanumerical data. For example, if I am trying to sum the data of a country, then it will throw up an error. You can see we are not getting the proper output or the proper result over here. It will work only with numerical type of data. Then only we can get the proper output for this. Let's say we can sum up with support rep id. Support rep id. uh, Ignore the things, but just observe only it is going to work with numerical data. Now you can see for three support id, the count of the data available in the complete list of data for a table is 63, and for 4 it is 80, and for 5 it is 90. So this is how it will work, and it will not going to support the alphanumeric or the character type of data. And the same way we can work with average. This is the average, and the average also will be going to work only with numerical type of data and min numbers type of data. Since we are doing average, we'll get this kind of output. Okay. And let's say if I need to see the max number or min number of a particular column data available in the table, then we can use this max operator and we can find out it. So since we are grouping this thing and it shows up for 3 it is 3, and for 4 it is 4, and 5 it is 5. We are grouping this support rep id, and since we have only three type of rep ids and it shows up for 3 it is 3, and for 4 it is 4. If it is with based on a department id, then the output will be a bit different. For having a better understanding on this, let's check the data in the invoice table. Maybe we can use the customer ID, comma max of customer ID group by customer ID. For customer ID 1, the max will be 1, for 2 it is 2, and for 3 it is 3. Because we are here grouping the results with customer ID, and for one we have only one, and for two we have two, so that's why it shows up like this. Whenever we are using a group by function, usually it will group the results and then it will give you the output. Here we are trying to group the customer id, but it is a unique thing. Since it is unique and only one record will be available for each type of data, let's say for one it will be only one record, for two it will be two, and for three it will be three. So we are trying to group for one, but if we have more than one record available in the table, then we can see the proper output in the result. So this is with the group by statement. And for group by, we are trying to add having, right. So this will be the condition like this. Let's say if I need to see the output of a max customer id equals to 1, then it will throw you only the result which is equal to 1. So this is how. So like we worked with where clause, the same thing we are going to apply for having, to filter out the data, but only the difference between having and where is having will be used only for aggregate type of functions, and for where we can use for normal type of functions, less than, greater than, equals to, not in, equals to, is not null. Those kind of functions can be used in where clause. But whenever we are using a group by, if you need to filter out the data, the most common thing we need to use is having. It is not to be used where we can use both where and having together, but whenever we are trying to filter out the aggregate type of functions, like let's say max, min, sum, average, or these kind of aggregate functions, and if we need to group by the data, then we are filtering out these type of aggregate functions output. So for these we need to use definitely the having operator, then only it is going to work, having clause, sorry. And the next one will be, we have covered everything, select from, where, group by, having. And the last one will be order by. So if you need to see the order in either descending or ascending, you need to sort out the data. Then this is how it going to work. I am trying to sort out the data based on ascending order, then no need of providing any command after the column name. Order by column name, and you are not giving anything after the column name. By default, if you are not providing anything, it will give you the result in the ascending order. For example, if I need to filter out the data in a descending order, then we need to provide DESC at the end of the column name, then it give you in the descending order format. So this is how with the order by will be working on. Hope this is clear. And we are done with the main categories, select from, where, having, group by, order by. And we have one more scenario, inner join, left join, right join, full join, self join, cross join. So these are the main type of joins which we use in a database. These join conditions are used to see the data from two different tables by using a similar column name available within the two tables. To see the data from two different tables by using the similar column name available within the two tables, we are using the column and we are making a join and we are trying to see the output. So for example, usually whenever we receive the raw data, it will be with lots and lots of columns and headers, and with a wide variety of information available in the raw data. Huge information will be available. This will be clear enough more. And for example, we used an Amazon website example in the beginning. uh, the Amazon website or Amazon database will be storing a different kind of information, right? For example, customer name, address, these will be the personal information. It will be storing in a customer table. And order, for example, the customer will be placing an order, right? Here we have the customer ID, and here also we have the customer ID, which are in the common columns. And here we can have the order date, product ordered. So this is how we can see the data. Okay. We have two different tables, and we are making the data splitted to have a better understanding. For example, if you need to see only the customer information, we can see the using a customer table. If you need to see only the order details, we can see the order details in the order table. But if you want to see the complete information of a customer name, address, phone number, and everything, along with the order, product, and order ID, everything to be in the same output, then we can use these kind of joins based on the condition. For example, so inner join will work, and it will give, for example, in these both tables we have 10 records in a common, then it will give the 10 records. And for left join, what it will do is, whatever the table you are placing in the left side, first it will give you the matching records plus the left data and left table. This is simple. And for right join, it will give the matching records plus the right data and right table. So this is how it will show up with right. A full join will give the complete data of all combinations with the two tables, and self join is used to join the self table. For example, if you need to view the information with a different kind of condition, we can use the self join. By joining the customer table, we can see this kind of self join. And cross join, it will give you the complete data which is available in the both tables. So that's how these joins will work. And let's take a small examples with inner join, left join, out join. Here we have the customer table and invoice table, where we are using both of them. And the query format we need to follow here is, we need to provide an alias name uh, in order to join the conditions. Customer C, and I am doing an inner join which will give you the common output available in the both tables. And I am giving a invoice I on, we need to give on what column we are making this join, because based on the same column we need to join these tables, right? That's what we discussed. So the same thing we are following here, the first table, a second table, and we need to give the alias names for both of the tables. And here this is the common column name which is available in both of the tables. Based on the alias name we are making a join, and on condition should be provided for these same column conditions. Now you can see, we can see a 59 customer IDs which are in common for customer table and invoice table. We are seeing the complete information with customer information and invoice information. From here, this is the invoice table. Since I am providing star, it is giving me the information available with customer and invoice both of the tables. Let's say I need to see only the billing address. This is available in the invoice table. So we need to give the alias name as I, then only we can able to see this result. See, now I'm seeing only the billing address details which is available in the invoice tab. Let's say I need to see the customer ID information or customer first name information or the city. Then I need to use C as alias name because the city is available in the customer table. So this is how we need to use to see the common data which is available in between both of the tables based on the same column name available in the tables. And let's say for right join, I'll show you. And similar way, the right join will give you the same common data first, and next if we have any leftover data in the left side table, then it will give you the data from the left side table. Since everything you can see here, till here these are the matching records available in the both of the tables, and these are not matching, so that's why it shows up a city. Let's say the customer ID is in the left table, left side, and right side we have the invoice table. And we are joining the using the right join. So that's why for whatever the information available in the left side, it will show up as null. Till here these are the matching records from the both tables. And we need to see the leftover table from the right side table, right? So for the right side table we have the billing address which we have added in the select clause. So it shows up the complete data for billing address, but not with the city column, because the city column is available in the customer table and this information is not available in the customer table. So it shows up as null entries. And whatever the information extra available in the right side table, we can see the data. But for the columns which are available in the left side table, will show as null. So this is how it will work. And for example, if I need to see the left join, it should be available with the right side. There is no leftover data, so it shows up the complete data as entries. And for right join, you can see, right, the same way the left join will work whenever we have any leftover data available, which is not common in both of the tables, which is available apart from the matching data from the left side table, it can be viewed in the result. So this is how the join will work. And for cross join, full join, this will be the quite simpler thing, and we are not using this in a common. And you can see the all kind of full join, it will give all kind of possible scenarios with these conditions. And we have a cross join, it will just give the multiplication of the numbers. So that's how it will work. This is the data available in both of the tables, that's why it shows up like that. And let's move on to the next concepts. Union, union, all. These are all the set operators. Intersect, minus or except. If you want to join the tables, the union will remove the duplicates and it will give you the data from the two tables. Removes the duplicates and it gives the unique data available in both the tables. Data in both the tables. For example, let's say I have two tables, customer and order, and here I have the ID, customer ID, name, address, and here we have a customer ID. For example, you need to see all the customer ID information. Maybe because of some issue, the customer ID information, few of them are not matching with these two tables. Usually, it should be the matching case. But if, for example, if we don't have the matching data which is available in both of the tables, and if you need to make a union of these tables, then we can use the union operator, which it will give you the matching data. Not the matching data, it will give you the unique data. For example, in customer table we have 1 2 3 4, and for order table the customer ID we have 5 6 4 5 6. Let's say this is how we see the data. And here I am at 5 also. So this is how we have the data. One is with the first one is with customer table and one is with order table. Then what it will do you is, whenever we are trying to union these two tables, it will give you the result as 1 2 3 4 5 6. The information of customer id is 1 2 3 4 5 6. It will not give you the duplicates. For example, the 4 id information is available in both of the columns, both of the tables, but it will not give you twice the information. It will give you only one time in the output. So this is how it will work with union all. And for example, if you need to see the data available using with union all, it will give you the output as with duplicates. For example, here we have 1 2 3 4 5 in the first table, and after union all we are using this, then it will give you me the result as like this, because it is giving you the duplicate entries as well. But union, it will give you the output only with without any duplicates, and it will give you the entry as one time. And for union all, it will give you all the entries which are available in both of the tables. And how we can write the uh, condition or the command or SQL statement in a database is, for union it will be like this. For here there is a clause where you need to add the same number of columns for the first query and as well as with the second query. Here I am using a customer ID only one column. You need to use only one column after union in the second table. And if you are using a two columns in the first query, you need to use the both two columns in the second query. The same column should be used and the data type should be also the same. Then only this operator will function. And whenever you need to see the leftover data which is available in the first table, then you can use minus or except operator based on the database you are working on. So this is how it will work. For example, this is the example, right? We don't have the matching data of 1 2 3 available in the first table, then the output will be 1 2 3 data. And for example, if I'm doing this in the reverse format, I'm placing the order table in the first place, a 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 in the second, and after doing minus, it will give you only the 6, because whatever the table name or the whatever the first query we are using, the left data after doing minus, it will give you from the big first table, not with the second table. So if you have any of the records left over in the second table, it will not give you in the output. The only thing you need to see the left data from the first table. So this is how the operators will work: union, union all, minus, and with intersect. What it will do is it will give you the matching data available in the both of the tables, and it also not give you the duplicates. For example, here the matching data is 4 5 from both of the tables, and it will give you only the records with 4 5 customer ids. So this is how it will work with operators. I hope it is clear. And we have a different kind of case statements like operator, and lots more of Windows functions. And it will be in depth whenever we need to try to understand with the case statements. We need to see lots of scenarios to have a better understanding. We need to do more practice whenever we are performing these kind of SQL statements. We need to try to build the logic in such a way. We need to use all kind of formats and a different kind of commands should be used, then we can see lots and lots more of understanding in the SQL concepts. And this is in the high level with the SQL commands and the SQL query statements. We have to have a better understanding. And with ETL testing, whenever we are trying to understand with ETL testing, we know what is data, and we need to understand the database, and the database will be used to store data, right? And these may be a cloud database or the normal database or the licensed version or whatever may be. We are trying to store our data in the form of tables. And whenever in a database, there will be a schema available in that database. For example, in any of the database, there will be database dot schema dot table. So after, whenever we are using to give the table name, we need to use these kind of statement, these kind of statement should be followed whenever we are using in a SQL statement. Whenever, in the sense, if you are already chosen the database we are using in the usage of database, then it is not required to use every time the database dot schema dot table, but it is mandatory to use in the real time scenario. We need to use the schema dot table name. A schema is nothing but we are providing the schemas just to have a better understanding of the list of the tables which are available. For example, all the customer related information, all the customer related tables, we are providing the schema as cus. Then we should use cus dot table name. And for example, for all order information related one, we are using ord as a schema name. Then we need to use this schema ord dot your order table. Then only we can use to run this query. These schemas are used to have a better understanding to use these tables, or to divide them or partition them to have a better understanding. We are dividing them, we are splitting them in a two different schemas, so that we can easily track all the customer related information will be available in the cus schema, and all the order related information will be available in the ord schema. This is how in the real time. Next we have the data warehouse. uh, Here the database will be having only the transactional data, and data warehouse will have the historical data. If we are placing any order in any of the website, the example which we discussed for have a understanding with the data related concept. Now let's take that same example, and if you are placing an order, it will make an entry and it will add in the transactional data, because on daily basis there will be a lots of orders placed in Amazon website, and lots of accounts will be created in the banks as well. And whatever the data we are predicting on daily basis will be updated or deleted or inserted in the transactional data in the database. This historical data is, for example, the last 10 years data, 15 years data, or 20 years data, whatever may be the business is maintaining, that kind of data will be maintained in a data warehouse. And in the data warehouse is used for reporting purpose. This is used for reporting purpose, where to have a better understanding of your business. Reporting, which is a presentation layer. This is the final layer of any of the database or any of the data thing, to have a clear understanding of your business in the form of report basis, where you can see what kind of sales happened, and where in the which area the sales are more, and what kind of products are selling in on daily basis with a huge number. Those kind of information will be used in a reports. And for these reports we are using a data warehouse, data available in the data warehouse, and which will help you to understand your business in a better and most, uh, I mean to say, we can use it for analysis purpose, where we can predict the problems in your business, and we can rectify those with better solutions using this reporting, which is the data available in the data warehouse. So this is what the difference between a database and the data warehouse. And for ETL testing, there will be a different kind of projects which are available. We need to test out with ETL testing. And for ETL testing, based on the project criteria, we need to perform the activity. For example, the Informatica is one of the tool which is used for data migration. And this is only not only the tool which is used in the market, but we have lots of tools which are available in the market. Most of the companies are in common, there will be Informatica tool as well. And it is not mandatory to have understanding with the Informatica tool for ETL testing related projects. uh, this will be the scope, or it will be good to have to understand with Informatica too, but it is not at all mandatory to have understanding with Informatica. For example, we have a data migration activity, and what exactly the ETL will do is it will extract the data from the source. And we have next will be the transform layer, where we are providing some transformation or logic, which we are making some changes from the source to the target. And next one will be the loading into the target. So this is how the ETL will stand for. And the transform, to understand the transform layer, for example, in the raw data we have the customer information as, I mean, the customer name as the full name. But in the target system you need to view the customer information, the full name as first name and the last name, but not with the full name. Then we are providing a transform layer in between, where it will be coming out with Informatica tool or any of the packages or stored procedures. Those kind of usage will come actually with the transformation layer, where we are providing some logic using the SQL commands, or based on the tool we are using, we are splitting out the data with which is available with the full name as first name and last name with two columns into the target table. So this is with the loading, which will happen to split your full name column data as with first name and last name. So this is how it will work with ETL. And for ETL testing, first there will be some development life cycle will be going to happen for each and every project. And most commonly there will be agile methodology usage nowadays. And to have understanding this cycle as well, for agile methodology, uh, we have one product or one output which business is requested to give you, uh, based on some timeline. Then we are splitting out the product into bits and pieces, and we are achieving it. uh, for example, 10% will be achieved in 2 weeks, and if 20% will be achieved in 4 weeks. That complete product can be achieved in a different life cycle, and we are achieving it in split basis. We are not achieving it in a one go. So for that we are using agile methodology, and here in agile methodology we are splitting out the final output into a different number of tickets or different number of development phases. Different development phases will be going to happen in the agile methodology, and there will be a development or a testing cycle or a production cycle going to happen for each and every 2 weeks in the agile methodology. 2 weeks is called as a sprint. This one sprint we can have 10 tickets or 20 tickets or 5 tickets or 4 tickets based on the development we are doing. We need to split your tickets on sprint basis, and the tickets which we are allocating on a sprint basis should be completed within the sprint of 2 weeks, that is nothing but at 10 days of 10 working days. So this is with agile methodology in a high level, and for example, here we are taking the inputs from the business UI UX design people, and the front end functional people, and the development testing, product owner, scrum master, everything. Everybody will be involved in the development cycle, and everybody will be together. Making a decision of your business output, and we need to achieve all of the development testing production everything in a together format. And here it is more important to have a better planning and better understanding of the ticket or the development we are testing. So for that we are using a test cases in order to test your the developers, which the developers will be developing some kind of functionality, or they'll be migrating some data, or whatever may be the criteria. We need to be writing the test cases based on the criteria we are going to test. Test cases are nothing but we are giving each and every point to be tested for the development of the criteria happened in a particular sprint. And these test cases can be reviewed with scrum master or the development people based on the project flow. We need to be getting reviewed your test cases, and once the development was completed for particular functionality, and that will be going to be in a testing phase, and where the actual testing will be going to happen. We need to test the data in the database, or we need to test the data functional testing, or whatever the testing we are doing. We need to be doing all these kind of functionalities based on the project development we are going to do or we are involved in with. And this is all about with ETL, and how the agile methodology will going to happen and what will be the test cases. First, the main thing we need to understand over here is the data and how the data will be going to or moving to the database or the data warehouse. And we need to have a better understanding of SQL, because the only thing we are going to interact with the database is using the SQL language, and it should be the mandatory thing whenever we are performing any of the validations in the database. And next thing, we need to have a better practice in all of the commands and all of the operators, all of the keywords which are available in the database. Most of the all are the inbuilt functions, and we need to be learning more whenever we are doing a practice with your questions or which are available in the different kinds of websites. And here we have the ETL testing concepts, and the ETL testing is mainly focused on the data validation part, which is with the database. And we are making sure if you are performing any of the transformation for your raw data, we are making sure Because of that transformation logic, there is no data missed from the raw data which we received in the Excel format or the text format or the image format, whatever maybe we are receiving as a raw data. It should not be missing any of the record after performing the transformation logic and loading into the database. That's how we are making sure with ETL part. And here in ETL, the source will be the file of the raw data which we are receiving. This will be the raw data, and the target will be your database or AWS or cloud or Azure, whatever may be. Uh, the main key concept of this source and target and ETL concept is to make sure that no record is missed after performing this ETL activity from source to target. If you are migrating or transforming 10,000 records from the source, and after performing the transformation logic or after importing the data into the database, the same number of records should be available with the source and the target. That is the main key concept of ETL testing we are doing. And these can be achieved in a different kind of ways or different kind of formats based on the project we are working on with.